Hey everybody, Spooky Marshmallow here, and today I am going to tell you about 5 spooky Hulu movies or shows to check out if you're bored. There are several different good thriller horror movies on Hulu, but these are just 5 that I happened to watch and thought were very interesting, and I thought I would pass it along to you. So these are in no certain order, but the first one is a movie called Dead Silence, and it has Donnie Wahlberg in it. And all I'm going to say is it has a lot of spooky puppets and dolls in it. So if you are a person that is afraid of puppets and dolls, like myself, you definitely want to check it out. I think you'll like it. It really freaked me out. Yeah, and at the end, let's just say there's a clown thrown in the mix as well, and I don't like clowns very well either. All right, moving on. So the second one is called Bite Size Halloween, and I thought that was really cool. There's several short Halloween stories, and it goes through each story. Each one is very different, but it has an overall theme. Some of them were hilarious. Some of them were a little spooky. Some of them I just was like, what? Yeah, but definitely check it out. It's really, really good. And it is called Bite Size Halloween. The next one is called Within. Oh man, where do I begin with this movie? Yeah. It is very intense. It starts out a little slow, but if you stay with it, it picks up. And once it picks up, it is awesome. It is a really great thriller. It really is. I was like at the edge of my seat by the end of the movie. I loved it. Sorry, I keep clearing my throat, but I'm trying to get over this cold that I have. It's making me crazy. So anyway, so let me tell you what it's about. So this man is a widow and he has a new wife, and he has a daughter with his first wife that passed away. So the three of them want to make a new go of it. They move into this house. All of that they know about the house moving in was that the family suddenly and mysteriously disappeared. And so the daughter, she's like an older teenage kind of age. She is home for the summer while the parents are out working. She decides to clean out the garage. So while she's cleaning out in the garage, there's this group of kids and they're playing out in the street, riding bikes or whatever. And they happen to mention to her that she's living in a haunted house. So it kind of bothers her, but she just kind of blows it off as, you know, kids will be kids or whatever, and they're just trying to mess with her because they're new to the neighborhood or whatever. But then she starts to uncover different things about the previous owners of the house, and she realizes that the story that they were told about the family suddenly disappearing was not the truth. And oh my god, it is crazy. It is intense. There is a bedroom scene where the daughter is laying in bed and something happens, and I'm not going to say what because I don't want to give away any part of the movie, so that in case you want to watch it, you will freak out like I did. But let's just say it deals with drool, and it freaked me out big time because I'm gonna be honest here. Sometimes I wake up with drool coming down the side of my mouth when I wake up. This really freaked me out. That's all I'm gonna say. And if you have already seen this movie, you know what scene I'm talking about. The movie is called Within, and it is on Hulu. Definitely, you need to watch this movie. It's, whoa. Yeah. It's one of those movies that it gave me such a good thrill that I could watch it over and over and over again, and I would still, like, by the end of it, I would still be like, oh my god, like freaking out on the edge of my seat. So I highly recommend that one. So the next one, number 4, is The Blair Witch Project. Okay, now, I know what you're thinking. For those people that have actually seen The Blair Witch Project, you're like, oh, come on, are you serious? Let me just tell you about The Blair Witch Project, okay? When it first came out, I saw it in the movie theaters, and, like, I think it was, like, it might have been either the day it released or the day after it released in the theaters, and I was so scared. Like, I really was terrified. I went camping a lot as a kid, and to this day, I still love to go camping. I love the outdoors. I love being out in the woods. I love the mystery of the woods, you know? And watching this movie just, it scared the crap out of me. It really did. Like, I came home. I remember that night after seeing that, I came home. My parents were at a friend of theirs' house, and I called my mom and I asked them to come home because I didn't want to be by myself in the house. I know it's crazy, but it's true. That is how bad that movie affected me. And then, of course, after that, you know, you find out some things about it. I'm not going to give away anything for those people that have never seen the movie and have no idea what I'm talking about, which I'm sure there's only a select few, maybe, who have no idea what I'm talking about. But once things started to come out about the movie, I felt a lot better, because I was one of those people that I legit believed everything in that movie. I'll just say that and leave it at that. But definitely, The Blair Witch is a classic. Even if you've seen it a million times, it's still one of those movies that, like, when you're bored and you're just like, I want to watch something, but I don't know what. Oh, there's The Blair Witch Project. I'll watch The Blair Witch Project. Cool. And I will say that I liked The Blair Witch Project 2 better than the first one. I liked 2 so much better. Like, I'll watch 2 any day over the first one. But if you've never seen The Blair Witch Project, check it out for sure. After you watch the movie, and if you've never heard anything about it, then you need to get online and do more research about the movie to figure out completely what I'm talking about. Okay, and the last one, number 5, is a movie that I found a couple years ago called Houses October Built. And there's 1 and 2. I did not care for 2 at all. But the first one, wow, it is so good, and it is so creepy. And it's one of those movies, okay, so I had to watch it like 2 or 3 times before I started noticing different things. It's like, there's so much going on in the movie that you watch it the first time and you're just like, oh wow, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I like this movie, you know? And then you watch it a second time and you're like, oh my god, I didn't see that the first time. And then you watch it again and you just keep finding all this stuff. And then once you watch the second one, which continues on from the first one, it just continues the story. You're just like, oh, okay. So then when you go back and watch the first one and you know what happens in the second one, you're just like, I see that now. That makes sense. Like, it was very clever how they did it, because when you watch the second one, it makes you want to go back and watch the first one again. And that's exactly what I did. When I saw that the second one was out, I watched it, and then I was like, okay, I have to go back and watch the first one now. And when I did, that's when I started finding all these other things that I did not notice before. In Houses October Built is about this group of friends, and they set out, they rent an RV, and they set out to travel the most haunted places they can find, like haunted house attractions that they can find. And like, we're talking like the ones that are, you know, like you got to sign a waiver to go into, where they're still allowed to touch you and this and that and the other, which is very rare now. And I don't even think those actually even exist anymore. But so these friends set out, they get in their RV, and it's set up like a documentary. So you see, you know, them go into different haunted houses and things like that. I have never looked into it to see if some of the haunted attractions they go to are actual ones. I'm gonna say they probably are. There's some in Texas they go to, and then there's some in Louisiana that they go to. I really think some of them probably are actual haunted attractions that, you know, said, hey, yeah, we'll be in the movie, why not? But anyway, so they go to all these attractions, and then they get caught up in this main haunted attraction that's to the extreme called Blue Skeleton. And it's an organized group out of Louisiana, New Orleans. They go there, bad things happen. That's all I'm going to say about that. Both 1 and 2 are on Hulu. I highly recommend you watch it because it is so good. It's a little slow at points, I will say, but then it just picks right up quickly. It also is neat because it has like character interviews, like not characters from the movie, but characters from the haunted attractions that they go to. Like people will be sitting there like getting their makeup put on for the haunted house, and then they'll just ask them different questions and stuff like that. And those are just randomly in there. Those parts, they're just randomly thrown in there, which I thought was really, really cool how they did that. When you first start watching it, you're thinking, okay, yeah, this is cool. This could really happen. It really, really could. But then towards the end of the movie, you're like, okay, this really couldn't happen. But it's really good. I recommend it highly. And again, it's called Houses October Built 1 and 2. The second one, like I said, it just continues on the story from the first one, and it explains a lot of things. The ending is really cool. I like the ending of the second one. Yeah, I'll just say that. If you watch that one or any of these that I have listed, leave your thoughts on it down in the comments section below. I would like to read them, and I'm sure anybody else that watches this would like to read them as well. Back to the Blair Witch Project. There's some remakes. I think there's just one remake. It came out, I think, in 2019. And I have watched it. I don't know if it's on Hulu. I can't remember which platform I watched it on. Not so good. Not so good. I really wasn't impressed with that one. When I say Blair Witch Project, I'm talking about the original that came out in the early 2000s. Definitely check that out. And check out the second one. I think the second one is on Hulu. I'm not sure, but I think both of those are on Hulu. So definitely check that out. All right, and that's going to do it for today's video. Yeah, so my 5 were Dead Silence, Bite Size Halloween, Within, oh man, The Blair Witch Project, and Houses That October Built. So, yeah, give those a check out one day if you're bored or just curious. Alright, so that's going to do it for today's video. This is Spooky Marshmallow saying, stay spooky, my friends.
This has been a Fluffy Puppy presentation.